This tutorial is for a candy cane ribbon wreath. The candy cane wreath form is from the Dollar Tree, as well as the light up ornament, the truck in the center of the bow, and the pick on the back of the bow. The ribbons are from either Sam's Club or the craft stores. This glittery red and white ribbon is 50-yard roll. It's from Sam's Club and it was under $10. One of the best things about this ribbon is it's double sealed. I'm putting my ribbon on this dowel rod to keep it from getting tangled up. It's going to make it easy for me to unravel it. I like to start at the bottom of the candy cane form, roll it over the edge so you will not see that candy cane form. I'm just hot gluing onto the wreath form, and I'm going to roll the ribbon over it to cover it up. Now for that excess on the side, I'm going to roll it over and then glue it down because I don't want it fraying in the future. So I don't want to have to worry about that. I want it nice and clean. I'm sure you can see that the wreath form is showing through where it's glued, but don't worry, that's going to cover up once I start wrapping it. Now I'm going to fold this ribbon over and I'm going to push it down, but this is the only time I'm going to push it down like that. I'm not going to do that when I wrap it. Now I'm slowly going to start wrapping this. I'm going at an angle and I'm pulling really snug, not overly tight. Okay, now you want to add hot glue to the back of the frame because you don't want that showing on the front. So just keep wrapping and gluing the back of the frame. Here's a close-up of what it looks like from the front and back, and if you look through the bottom. I'm just adding a little bit of hot glue. It's just a real fine line of hot glue. Now I'm going to speed this up a little bit, but I want you to see the whole process. And once I get to the curve, I'm going to slow that down. Here's another close-up of what it looks like. As you can tell, it's not evenly spaced out, the ribbons, but once you get it all done, you cannot tell. And Lucy had to say hi in this video. Now I'm going to start doing the curve. As you can tell, it's a little bit difficult, but it's not anything overly hard. You just have to take it slow, and if you need to double wrap in an area, just go ahead and do that if it's wrinkling up too much. This is the area where your ribbon is really going to get tangled up, so you may have to fight it a little bit, but it's not difficult. At this point, I found that it's easier to move the wreath form instead of trying to move the ribbon around the wreath form. I'm moving the wreath form around the ribbon. Now that I'm at the end, I'm cutting about 7 to 8 inches of ribbon so I can work the very end and cover it up good. It was actually a little too much, but I wanted to be safe instead of sorry. Since I was working off the spool, I have no idea how much ribbon I actually used, but I just wanted to show you how much I used off there. Now I'm adding some hot glue on the wreath form inside there, and I'm going to push in the ends of those ribbons to try and cover that up. Here's a neat little trick for removing hot glue strings. Just take a microfiber cloth and wipe it on there and it will take the strings right off. Now that I'm finished wrapping it, I get to decorate it. So I'm going to make a bow and I'm going to put some ornaments on it. This neat little ornament I got from the Dollar Tree, it lights up, as you can see, different colors and different speeds. Here are 2 other ribbons I will be using and a neat little floral pick from the Dollar Tree. I'm seeing how long I need to make my tails for my ribbon bow. My tails are about 10 inches long. I'm just going to pinch it and then make a loop. And I'll show you how big the loop is as well. And then I will twist the ribbon and make another loop and compare that loop and make sure it is the same. And I will make the tail about the same length as well. These are the little vintage truck ornaments. I'm going to put one in the center of the bow. Just running my chenille stem through the metal hanger of the ornament. If you wanted it up closer, you could stick it through the ornament if there's a place for it. Since the hangers are metal, I can bend them and make it go wherever I want it to. Now I'm using this Merry Christmas ribbon, and I want most of the Merry and Christmas showing on the tails. But I'm not going to show all of it because I don't want it overly long, but I definitely want it longer than the first bow, and I want the loops bigger as well. Again, you pinch the bow or the loop and you twist and then make your next loop. That way the printed side is always on top. I want a big bow for this wreath. I want something dramatic, but I don't want a big poofy bow because this is going on my Etsy shop and I have to think about shipping. And if I make something really poofy, then that's going to cost more in shipping. So I want a big bow, but I want to be able to have a flatter bow that's not going to take up as much space. Plus, I like the idea of this type of bow because it looks like the candy cane has just been wrapped up in a nice little neat bow for a present. I'm going to do one more layer for this bow and I'm going back to the solid red. That way I'm not using too many different patterns with the stripe on the candy cane wreath. I don't want to add a bunch of different patterns and take away from that. Since this is a thinner ribbon than the Merry Christmas, I'm going to do 4 loops. That way I can be sure that it's seen underneath it. One of the little glitter balls fell off of this pick, so I'm just hot gluing it back on, and then I'm going to check each individual piece and make sure they're still on good, and any that aren't, I'm going to hot glue them. What I'm doing here is just unraveling this, and I'm going to put each section together and then twist tie it, because when you do individual sections and tie them off individually, it makes the center of the bow really thick, and I just don't like that. I mean, you can do that if that's what you want to do, but I like it to be all tied nice and tight. Now I'm just going to trim up the ends and cut a V shape, and I'm going to roll up some of these really long ends and make them curly. I'm cutting off some of this floral pick because I don't want it showing through on the bottom of the bow, so I want just enough that it's hidden. I'm just going to twist it really tightly to the bow. That's all I'm doing. If you wanted to add some hot glue, you could. I'm not going to. I don't think I need it. I struggled a little bit with this ornament on how to hang it because the on-off switch is right there where the hole is, so I wanted easy access. So what I'm doing is using some real pretty red soft satin ribbon. I'm going to glue it together so it hangs off the bow enough where it's easy to reach. Again, I'm just attaching this to the chenille stem, and I'm going to twist tie that on so it hangs down. Forgot to mention I put another chenille stem through the back there, so that's why I've got extra stem showing, and that's what I'm twisting together there. Now I'm just going to tie this onto the wreath form. That's it. I'm just twisting it really tightly, and then I'm going to fold that under. Now I'm just adjusting everything and putting it where I want it, moving the pick around so everything's showing the way I want it to, moving the truck and the loops and the tails, and just making everything real pretty. The ornament is a little bit down too low, so I'm just pulling it up and over the bow so it'll be at the perfect spot. There's a couple of ways you can hang this. You can just simply put it on a wreath hook like that. I'm going to attach some ribbon, so I'm just taking it through one of those loops of the striped ribbon through the back where I wrapped it, and I'm just going to glue this red ribbon to itself, and that will be my hanger. I'm just cutting off a little bit of excess wire there, and I'm going to put some more glue to make sure it's glued really well. Now I'm just going to pull it through so that part where I just glued is under that striped ribbon and you won't be able to see it. This is what it will look like at night. See how pretty that is and colorful? And then I'm going to show you a picture of it hanging on a tree so you can see what that ribbon looks like. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, and comment. Thank you.